everyone. I'll call the meeting to order. I see we're all in attendance. Any disclosure of pecuniary interest, general nature thereof? Seeing none, I've got some opening remarks. The public meeting is being heard by the City Council Planning Advisory Committee, and public notice has been given in accordance with the Planning Act. The non-elected members of the Planning Advisory Committee are Mr. John Baltutis, Mr. Tyler Fenton, Mr. Paul Jennings, and Ms. Sarita Van Dyke. Citizen appointees may ask questions and participate in the discussion in order to assist in making recommendations to City Council, but may not make motions or vote in connection with the public meeting. If a person or public body does not make oral submissions at a public meeting or make written submissions to the Planning Committee or City Council before the bylaw is passed, the person or public body is not entitled to appeal the decision of City Council or the Ontario Land Tribunal. If a person or public body does not make oral submissions at a public meeting or make written submissions to the City of Belleville before the related bylaw is passed, the person or public body may not be added as a party to the hearing of an appeal before the Ontario Land Tribunal unless, in the opinion of the tribunal, there are reasonable grounds to add the person or public body as a party. Comments received at this public meeting, as well as written comments, will be considered by the Engineering and Development Services Department in analysis of the applications that were part of the public meeting tonight. For further information on how to provide comments to the city regarding an application from this public meeting, please email planning@belleville.ca. A recommendation report will be brought forward upon receipt of all agency and public comments in the future. Any persons wishing to be advised of the Belleville Planning Advisory Committee's recommendations with respect to today's applications are requested to leave their name and address on the appropriate notification sheet located on the clipboard beside the podium. And with that, we'll move on to public meetings. 3.1, notice of complete application and introductory public meeting for proposed zoning bylaw amendment, bylaw 3014, 4394 Old Highway 2, City Belleville. Owner is Margaret Ray and Jessica Easterbrook Welsh. Agent is Watson Land Surveyors Incorporated, and the file is B-77-1183. If staff could present the report, please.
Certainly, Mr. Chair. The subject land is located on the southeast corner of Old Highway 2 and Point End Road and is developed with a commercial building. Consent application B34-22 approved a 372 square meter lot addition to the southern portion of the subject land. As condition of consent, this application proposes to amend zoning bylaw 3014 to rezone the subject land from highway commercial C1 zone and rural residential RR zone to highway commercial C1-X zone with a special provision to recognize a reduced side yard of 4.9 meters on the southern lot line. The official plan designation of the subject property is rural land use, and staff have not received correspondence from the public regarding this application at this time. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of the application? Yeah, if you just want to come up and activate the microphone there and state your name.
It's Jennifer from Watson Land Surveyors. I'm just here to answer any questions. We're the agent on file for this application.
Sure. Any questions of committee members? No? Oh, wait. Yeah, Councillor Millett.
Thank you. What's the purpose, or is it changing the operation at that corner substantially?
There's no change to the use at the corner. This is just the rezoning for the lot addition portion that was added to it, but there's no change of use.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions of committee members? No? Okay, thank you very much. And I don't need to ask 3 times because the gallery's pretty empty. I will just by law, anyone wishing to speak in opposition of the application. And seeing none, I've got a motion that the Margaret Ray and Jessica Easterbrook Welsh application B-77-1183 be referred to the regular Planning Advisory Committee meeting for consideration. Councillor Alsop, Councillor Brown, all in favor? That's carried. Thank you. And I need a motion to adjourn this portion of the meeting. Councillor Enright Miller, Councillor Millett, all in favor? That is carried. Thank you. All right, moving on to the Planning Advisory Committee meeting. I see we're all in attendance. Any disclosure of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof? I got a resolution that the minutes of the City Council Planning Committee meeting and Planning Advisory Committee meeting held on February 6, 2023 be approved. Mr. Baltutis, Mr. Jennings, all in favor? That's carried. We have no deputation. We have one correspondence item. It's the March 6, 2023 memo from Acting Manager Policy Planning. Resolution is that the March 6, 2023 memo from from the acting manager of policy planning regarding Bill 23 and third units be received. Councillor Alsop and Mr. Fenton, any questions or comments on the correspondence? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried. Referrals from the public meeting, 6.1, notice of complete application and introductory public meeting for proposed zoning bylaw amendment bylaw 3014, 4394 Old Highway 2, City of Belleville. Owners Margaret Ray and Jessica Easterbrook Welsh. Agent is Watson Land Surveyors Incorporated. File number is B-77-1183. Resolution is that report number PP-2023-13 dated March 6, 2023 regarding notice of complete application introductory public meeting for proposed amendment to zoning bylaw number 3014 as amended, 4394 Old Highway 2, City of Belleville, County of Hastings be received as information, and that staff report back at such time as input from the public, commenting agencies, and municipal departments has been received, assessed, and addressed to the satisfaction of the Engineering and Development Services Department. Moved by Councillor Brown, seconded by Councillor Millette. Any questions or comments? See none, all in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Moving on to reports, 7.1 staff recommendation report, draft plan of subdivision approval, 645 Sydney Street, parts of lots 17 and 18, Plan 22 Lemoyne, parts 1 and 2 of Plan 21R 25292, subject to easement over Part 2 of Plan 21R-25 292, as in THD 9490, City of Belleville. Owner is Neighborhood Better Living Belleville Incorporated. Agent is RFA Planning Consultant Incorporated, and the file number is 12T-22003. Resolution is that the Planning Advisory Committee recommends the following to City Council: that pursuant to Section 5131 of the Planning Act, Council of the Corporation of the City of Belleville give approval to the draft plan of subdivision, file numbers 12T 22003 for the property known as 645 Sydney Street, as shown on attachment 2 to approval section report number APS-2023-05, subject to the draft plan conditions included in attachment 3 to same. Okay, somebody to move that, please. Mr. Baltutis, Mr. Jennings, any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried. 7.2 staff recommendation report for proposed zoning bylaw amendment bylaw 10245, 645 Sydney Street, City of Belleville. Owner is Neighborhood Better Living Belleville Holdings Incorporated. Agent is RFA Planning Consultant Incorporated, and the file number is B-77-1182. Resolution is that the Planning Advisory Committee recommends the following to City Council: that application B-77-1182 to amend the City of Belleville zoning bylaw number 10245 as amended for 645 Sydney Street, City of Belleville be approved as follows: that zoning bylaw number 10245 as amended be amended by rezoning the portion of subject land from residential 5th density R531 zone and open space O1 zone to nursing home NH-8 zone with special provisions for the front lot line, front yard depth, interior side yard width, floor space index, parking aisle width, and projection of canopies, and residential 5th density R5-47 zone with special provisions for lot size, yard setbacks, and lot coverage, which would facilitate the development of a residential care facility and townhouse dwellings, and that a holding H symbol be applied to the residential 5th density R5-47 zone to require a servicing report demonstrating sufficient sanitary sewer capacity to the city's satisfaction prior to the development of the subject land. Moved by Councillor Alsop, seconded by Councillor Brown. Any questions or comments on this one? See none, all in favor? That is carried. 7.3 staff recommendation report for proposed zoning bylaw amendment bylaw 2076-80 and bylaw 10245 Potters Creek subdivision phase 9B and 284 Avenue Road, City of Belleville. Owners Potters Creek Developments Incorporated, Potters Creek Estates No. 1 Limited Partnership, and 521 461 Ontario Limited. Our agent is RFA Planning Consultant Incorporated. File number is B-77-1181. Resolution is that the Planning Advisory Committee recommends the following to City Council: that application B-77-1181 to amend the City of Belleville bylaw number 2076-80 and number 10245 as amended for Potters Creek subdivision Phase 9B and 284 Avonlea Road, City of Belleville be approved as follows. That zoning bylaw number 2076-80 as amended be repealed in its entirety for the subject land as shown on attachment 3. That Schedule A map number 3 of bylaw number 10245 as amended be amended by extending the schedule to include the subject land as shown on attachment 3. That zoning bylaw number 10245 as amended be amended by rezoning the subject land from urban holding UH zone, residential RR zone, and residential fourth density R4-48 zone to residential third density R3-7 zone with special provisions for single detached, semi-detached, and townhouse dwellings, and a site-specific definition for townhouse dwellings, which would facilitate the development of 44 units, including 35 single detached dwellings and 9 townhouse dwellings within the Phase 9B, and future development of the other remaining lands. Moved by Councillor Alsop, second by Mr. Baltutis. Any questions or comments? See none, all in favor? That's carried. And moving on to information matters, official plan and zoning bylaw amendment monitoring report. I have a resolution that the official plan and zoning bylaw amendment report to March 6, 2023 be received. Moved by Mr. Baltutis and second by Councillor Enright Miller. Any questions or comments on the monitoring report? See none, all in favor? That's carried. Any general business? See none. Motion to adjourn. Mr. Baltutis and Mr. Denton, all in favor? Sorry, Fenton. That's carried. Thank you very much.